Hi, I'm Lara Wallace. Welcome back to Bass Capital Radio Podcast. I'm here today with Chase Rideman from Chillula, a local band straight out of St. Augustine, who is going to be playing the Blue Crab Festival. On the podcast this month, we are really focused on all things Blue Crab. So we've talked to the organizers from the beginning, we've talked to the organizer now, and everything in between. But we thought it'd be really important to talk to some of the local talent. So I appreciate you
Excellent.
coming on today.
Yeah, thank you for having me out here, and
Yeah,
appreciate you
absolutely.
reaching out to musicians too to get
Oh,
get
yeah,
you know get a part of everyone's side. I think of the whole
absolutely.
festival and how we all feel about it.
Yeah, I love the fact that for me personally, I go to the festival for the music. Not that the food isn't great,
Right.
not that the vendors aren't awesome, but the music is what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, I might be biased, but same. I mean, I definitely go for the music, and it is actually a nice. It is a really cool part of town too, like right there on the river.
Yeah,
It is a
absolutely.
nice scene to be right out there, and especially where they have like the stage. Like our backstage is the river, which is
Right?
probably the coolest backstage I think we've ever had.
I'll take that. That's a
Anyway.
win.
I mean, I don't know. We've played on beaches and just, stuff like that too.
Yeah.
But yes, it's right up there in the top three. So it's a really great view for everyone too.
Well, as a local, I appreciate that. And you played a
Yeah.
lot of different places, but let's talk about
Yep.
first where we're recording right now.
Yep. That works.
This is a different background than
Yeah.
you're used to.
Yeah. Look at all this.
So we're in a local barber shop over at Mean Cutz here in Hastings, Florida. This is a gym. I stumbled in here or down here last week and saw this across the street. And so it's kind of coincidental that you said, yeah, let's film over there.
Yeah.
So tell me about how we ended up in here.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of out of laziness because I live in St. Augustine, you're in Palatka, so I was
Right?
like, let's try to do this, meet halfway on it, and
Nailed it.
and so I was like, all right, well, who do I know that lives out around here? Because my life is revolved around music. I know a
Hmm.
guy that has a recording studio, and of course a former bandmate. Well, it's still currently really. I don't really have like guys that are just out of the band. I just have a million musicians I play with.
I like
So I,
it.
I guess still former current bandmate.
On the
Yeah,
roll. Still
yeah,
on the roll.
yeah, yeah,
On
yeah.
call.
James Chestnut from Mean Cutz right here was nice enough to let us do this interview here, and in this cool
I
chairs
know
too.
these are great.
I mean, I actually now that I'm here, I was like, because I didn't have time to shave, so I was like, it would have been nice to just to get two knocked out at the same time. By the end of the interview, I could have looked real slick for you.
We'll do a before and after if need be.
I know that would have been. I should have done that, man. That would have been a great idea. Could have got my hair all done. Yeah. All right.
I like it. I like it. And I
Yeah.
love the fact that you've got people in your life who are still playing with you and
Oh yeah.
also having their own side hustle. So we'll be sure to drop the link to James's spot here in case you need a shave or a trim before you go on a podcast
Yes.
or
Yes.
whatever that
Yeah. See
is.
the pictures behind. Don't look at this right now.
Not a product of the environment at the
Yeah.
moment.
No.
So I appreciate you traveling here from St. Augustine. Let's get a little bit of background on how you ended up in music. So are you from St. Augustine, born and raised, or
No. I mean, well, I was born in Vero Beach, but I'm born and raised in Florida.
okay?
So one of the few people. I moved to Jacksonville about 86, 1986. All right. I
Just
know,
putting it out
I know
there.
I'm getting old, but oh, sorry, I gotta move. This is falling down.
That's okay.
All right. So yeah, I lived in Jacksonville for a long time, and I think it was like when I was at yeah probably yeah probably well I don't know I've wanted to play music my whole life really, like ever since I was a little kid I wanted to play drums, but no parents wanted to get your kid drum sets
No.
because it's super loud.
Hmm.
So yeah, I've always known I wanted to play music, and then it kind of solidified when I got to high school and I was at Nice High School,
Okay.
and there they really like encouraged people to play music and any kind of art too.
Hmm.
Like we had like full on bands play out and like in the middle of our lunch, like
Oh
because
wow.
it's an outside school, there's pods, so
Okay.
so they would allow full and any style of music. Like there's like metal bands playing out
That's
like
awesome.
and I became friends with a lot of the guys, a lot of musicians out there before I started really playing music, and luckily there was like some like amazing musicians that are still to this day, like at least like 10 of them, like full-time musicians.
Out of Nice.
Yeah, yeah, out of like the year that I was there. So
That's a lot in
I
one
got like
year. Yeah.
immersed in music from, like everywhere I went. Like people were playing music in the hallway. It was like downtown, St. Augustine, like the
But at
homeless,
school.
like yeah, like all like the people walking around and on the sides of the streets, like playing music. It was
Yeah.
like that at the school when I was there.
There's some I can't makes me frustrated that I cannot remember the name of the show, like, not High School Musical, whatever it is, where they're doing theater in every corner that they've got going on,
Yeah,
and so you're immersed in music in
yeah, it
every
was.
hallway, the
Yeah,
lunchroom. That's
yeah,
incredible.
it was. It really was like that. Yeah, like my friend Solo Lines, I remember. Yeah, he'd bring his guitar in and play like his guitar, Jimi Hendrix, like during breakfast. So I would just, I got to hang out with him, watch him play guitar, and eat some French toast sticks.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, music was everywhere for me during school.
I like it.
So it's easy to get
I'm
into it.
gonna give you a minute. We're gonna take a hot break to fix that mic for you so it doesn't keep sliding
Oh
here.
yeah, I can.
Thanks for that intermission there. Musical things. I'm sure you've
Yeah.
interacted with many faux pas like that along the way.
Yeah, actually,
Equipment,
I mean, it
technical
happens
difficulties.
on stage quite a bit, but I've gotten real quick, I can like hit a chord and just get up there and adjust things, and I'm doing it all the time. Even I actually realize it like in the last year from playing now that like my vocals have gotten better. I actually have to like the way that I'm standing and the way that my neck is moved can actually like affect the way that my voice sounds. So now I'm in between songs, I'm like adjusting my microphone since I'm playing guitar. I can't just hold
Right.
it like everyone else does.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly adjusting my microphone up and down to depending on like what style song I'm singing.
That's
So
goals. So I don't have to like break in the middle of this. Just reach over and fix the mic real quick.
yeah, I'm used to doing that, so it's fine.
So the high school, I don't
Yeah,
want to age you here. You
yeah,
were talking about your grazing your beard.
yeah.
It's judgment free. I've got this, they call it the money streak, I guess. My white
There you
hairs are
go.
coming in
Is that
here.
is that money streaks?
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody told me that. It sounded good, so I went with
Yeah,
it. But
exactly. That's keep them coming. Yeah,
so
keep them going.
you were immersed in high school music,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
then what instrument did you go into?
Guitar.
Guitar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I currently play now.
So never got the
Still.
drums.
No, I got drums. I mean, I waited until I was like in more of like a permanent house that wasn't my parents, that like
I bet
when
they thank you for that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we had foosball when I was growing up and pool tables, so that's still
They
loud.
have pretty cool
But it's not
parents
like
though.
constantly banging loud,
Yeah.
like drums are just yeah, it's not like one shot of the pool stick.
Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, I've always wanted one. So yeah, as soon as I was in like, basically when I met my wife, I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going anywhere now. So I'm getting a drum set immediately. And then
You didn't get vetoed. She was like, "Okay, let's do it."
I don't think I even asked her. I mean,
It just showed up one
well,
day.
because I mean, well, she works 9 to 5. So like I would play drums during the daytime, like for hours.
I have always enjoyed any musical instrument. I played piano, trumpet.
Oh, really
I've
nice. And
tried to play guitar, but I'm a pansy. I don't want to make my fingers bleed. And
was
then,
that all in school or was it, or
I
just
played
throughout your life?
piano and trumpet in school, and then anything I could touch from a musical standpoint after that. I've tried didgeridoo. I'm not skilled at
Yeah,
that, but
it's a little tough. I've tried that too.
yeah,
Back in my hippie days, I played a lot of hippie stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a skill set, and I would consider myself probably well equipped to breathe a lot of hot air through a tube
Yeah,
for a long period of time. I could talk for
yeah,
a long time,
you,
but
you need that. Yeah,
you
with all the
can.
wind instruments and
Oh my
brass, huh?
gosh, yeah, but the didgeridoo is not something I can do. No, I just have always been a fan of music. One of my younger daughters, rather, her name's Lyric
Oh
for
wow,
the musical
that's
aspect.
cool.
So I was very excited when you said you come interview with me because to just hear somebody's story about getting into music. So you were immersed, you were in school, you picked up the guitar. How did you end up in the arena you are now? So you've got a band, Chillula.
Yeah.
Was that from the beginning, or did you kind of play out
No,
on your own? Give me the
no,
story.
I've been playing like out and making money for 22 years. Yeah. So,
Wow.
so yeah, that's
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 a
yeah.
long
That's what I'm
time.
saying. Yeah. So it's a long story of, and I'm playing guitar for 25 5 years.
Okay.
So yeah, it took me 3 years to get good enough where I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna go out and play in front of people now.
Right.
Cause
Open
I,
up the guitar box, throw some change
cause I
in kind
just
of
wanted
thing.
to. Well, I was playing at like local bars in town. I played at like Trade Winds and Arnold's. Those were my first two gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then I started playing at some other local bars, and then eventually sometimes getting kicked out when they found out how old I was.
How old were you?
Um, I don't know. I was playing out at 18, so yeah, it was 18. I got kicked out a few times. So,
Judgment free zone.
but but I mean, they're just like, hey man, like you're not 21. You're not
Do
supposed
you
to
have the
be.
beard then?
Somewhat, yeah. Like
Yeah.
yeah, in high
Beard
school,
hides
I
anything.
had like long sideburns and dreadlocks. So
Awesome. I
like,
gotta go find a picture of that.
yeah,
It's gotta
yeah.
be out there somewhere.
There is. I think well, it's definitely on my MySpace page, but
Oh my gosh.
it's
Now we're dating ourselves.
well, yeah, but it's yeah. I think I transferred some of those pictures over to Facebook. So yeah, I think there's at least one on Facebook.
I'm going for it. I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
see
yeah.
that.
You can throw that up there. It's
Yeah.
yeah, because yeah, that was when I was 18, so I looked amazing. Like we
Absolutely.
all do.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
18 years old,
100%.
right?
So you
Same.
did the local gig for a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So how long do you think you did that before you started collecting other band members?
yeah. So I got asked when I was at so I went to Nice High School
Right.
for 2 years, but then junior senior year I went to St. Augustine High School, and I was in guitar class. So one day, just random guy like comes up. He's like, "So hey, you play guitar?" and uh, and it was my buddy Josh Parks, and he used to own Local Heroes, in St. Augustine
Oh, okay.
down St. George Street.
Yeah.
So yeah, he comes in the hallway. He's like, "Hi." He's like, "You play guitar? I play drums. You want to start a band?" I'm like,
Feel like that's right
"Yeah."
out of a movie.
Yeah, like come on, yeah, right. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Let's do it, man. So we started like rehearsing up at like the house at Local Heroes, and it was right on St. George Street. So there's all these tourists around.
Yeah.
So like like we'd look out the window because it was right on St. George Street, and like every time we play, we'd see people out there. So like I don't know, we must be like pretty good. I mean, we have a crowd that forms every time we practice.
And they're not booing, I assume.
No, I mean, like they were sticking around because they wanted to listen to us.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, they wanted to find out how to get in. We'd only let girls in, though, of course. So.
Yeah, I
We're like,
mean,
yeah,
it's just
just
part
walk,
of the
yeah, like
thing.
walk through the alleyway, come back here, we'll let you in the house. You can come hang out at our rehearsal. Uh,
Groupies already.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. We started pretty strong,
yeah. It comes with the territory.
and that was
So
yeah,
I've
that was
heard.
right. That was a band called Alchemist. So yeah, these are all. I had a lot of bands in between this
Okay.
one, Chillula. So and it's always been original stuff. Chillula was the first band I was like, let's start let's I'm gonna try a different approach by starting with songs people know and then giving them original music once we already have all the fans.
I mean, that's a
So
great approach. Covers
yeah,
are, yeah, everybody likes a good cover,
yeah,
but then throwing in your original stuff. Was doing some research. You have like syrup. I know you did the
yep,
champagne, and you have a music video for that. That's
yep,
pretty cool. Um,
yep, yep. That was a
so
fun
I
music
mean, that
video.
makes you official, really.
Yeah, I mean it's a legit video. I mean we have like the lead role, female role, was in Playboy too. So
I
yeah.
was wondering, her face looked familiar.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so does look
Just kidding.
familiar?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I thought that was somebody did a great job filming that for you. Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
work with locals?
Yeah, oh yeah. I prefer to work with local people. I think it's easier 'cause well, it's easy, you know how it is working with people, it can be easier, it can be harder, but I still prefer
Hmm.
definitely hiring people that are local, because I want to be able to like talk with them as much as possible.
Yeah.
And usually everyone I work with, I hang out with too.
That makes it a very rich relationship. On the podcast here, we're working on highlighting all of Putnam County, and I have a big passion for community. And I
Yeah,
think when you're able to bring the community together for bigger projects, it's something special versus having to outsource. And maybe it's somebody that you hire that's 4 or 5 hours away, or you can sit down and you could talk to people and explain what you're looking for and tweak things the way that you need to. And so it just makes it a much richer relationship, I believe.
right. And there's just as much talent in any city.
Hmm.
You just
Absolutely.
have to actually go just like how you find someone in another city to do whatever job it is, you could find someone just as good in the city that you're at,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
probably pay less sometimes because they don't have to travel.
Yeah. And everybody starts somewhere, you know. We get,
Yeah, that's why I'm like, people like say like, yeah, local, like, yeah, maybe we're local like here, but we play out all over, so you know what I mean?
well, tell
Yeah.
me how Chillula came about. So you had
Uh,
some bands in between,
yeah,
and then
yeah, yeah,
what landed you here?
yeah, it was lots. I played like, let's see, I did like a lot of heavy rock music, punk rock. I had a country duo. I moved to Nashville for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was doing heavy rock out in California, San Diego. So,
You've been all
uh,
over.
yeah, I was in North Carolina too. I went to Appalachian State to study music for a little bit and that was like a string band. That was crazy. Yeah, we had a cello player. Yeah, in
That's
the band.
awesome.
Yeah, so I've done a lot of styles of music, but that's what makes me a good musician.
Well versed.
Yeah, you gotta be able to
That was a
play.
pun, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta be able to play like every style of music, to be like I think like a real musician, and
Hmm.
every like legit musician I've seen really can play like at least two instruments like pretty well,
Hmm.
and that's just I don't know,
So guitar and
just
drums for you, I assume.
those are my favorites. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think any musician can play keyboard a little bit.
The chords, they're at
That's
least the
like that's why
basics.
people start you off on piano and keyboard. It's like the fundamentals.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but not enough. I wouldn't. Definitely not a piano player.
No, no filling in that spot, right?
No, no. Get
Gonna have to call
yeah,
James,
get
right?
James from Mean Cutz over here. That's usually what happens actually.
So you've traveled and
Yeah,
picked up a lot of different styles, tested a lot of different things.
yeah,
What brought you back to St. Augustine and what got you into Cholula?
yeah. That's actually a pretty good question because after moving around all the time, like I loved all the places I was at. I mean, they
Hmm.
were like beautiful cities, um, but I realized how long it took just to get into some of the venues. Like
Mm,
even like I was only there for like each of those cities for about like 8 to 12 months.
okay,
But it was enough time to where it took all that time just to start getting into venues
right.
because I didn't know anyone.
Hmm. Makes sense.
So I had to meet people that were, and then, once it was hard enough just meeting friends in general, but then to figure out connections through music is like a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
So, um, I think, yeah, eventually I was like, man, I've moved all these cities and it takes so long to get to where I wanted to be. I was like, maybe, I don't know, I should just stay in St. Augustine where I know everybody already.
hmm,
Um, I met a lot of people in high school and then obviously playing out at bars in town, St. Augustine. So
familiar faces.
yeah, so it was like it seemed to make more sense. I was like maybe I'll just start back and work with all the connections I have, and it was a lot easier. But also St. Augustine, like back in, let's see, it would have been when I was playing out like a lot was yeah back yeah high school, so 2000 yeah 2001 2002
Okay,
is when we started playing out quite a bit, but there wasn't a whole lot of places to play music then.
okay.
Like we didn't have the amphitheater even then, from what I remember. If we did, it was like some tiny thing.
Yeah, I
But it
don't, I remember because I was in high school about the same time. I It wasn't until I say much later, but 5, 6 years later that I really was drawn over to St. Augustine for the music. But I don't remember the amphitheater as much until
yeah,
later on.
yeah, we didn't have like any real big venues, so
Hmm.
there wasn't much at the time. But luckily, I think I just happened to start playing music when everything really started picking up a lot too. Like when the city just really started to push a lot of tourism, and so
Hmm.
it brought all these new bars and restaurants and venues into town, everything into town,
Right.
which the more people come, then and it is I hope that St. Augustine is known for people outside the city as like a music city too, because I feel like it is. I mean, you can see music like everywhere downtown.
Oh,
So,
100%.
and even on the beaches, I mean, not just downtown. So,
I mean, I've seen my favorite band play in St. Augustine, and that was wild to me to
so
be able to go over to St. Augustine and watch a band who I've seen
see,
at,
yeah,
Rockville, national circuits, played internationally, be in
yes, yes,
that venue.
right,
So, one of the things that I watch in Palatka, we have such a huge, or in Putnam County,
hmm
really, is the arts scene.
yeah,
We've got the flow arts out there, and we do have a lot of good local musicians there.
yep,
And I would
yep,
love to see that grow to have that recognition, such as St. Augustine. But I will definitely agree with you that when I think about where am I going to go listen to music,
hmm
that it's an easy call to go over to St. Augustine.
yeah.
There's
Well, still, I mean, Palatka. I mean, some of the best musicians that I know are from here. From Palatka and the surrounding area.
mhm,
So yeah, I mean, yeah, there's definitely room in Palatka, to expand like how St. Augustine did real quick.
right.
Or maybe not real quick, but in my mind, it seemed like it
I'm
was very
sure.
quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, I think Palatka will probably be just like that very soon.
And that's what we're hoping here, hoping to, have that positive growth and revitalization,
hmm
because at one time, we were a huge hub
Yeah.
for before all the fires and
hmm
the change of the railroads, and we're the only city without that interstate access. So that'd be, you know, just a lot of changes on the horizon. But so
Yeah.
you move back home to St. Augustine, you find yourself playing again,
Yeah, I never really stopped.
s-
I mean, yeah, like as soon as I
playing at home again.
yeah, yeah, like well, right, yeah, like it's yeah, anytime that I would go to a new city, I would immediately jump into open mics because like I have to go out, I have to be out playing music somewhere. So and that was the easiest way for me to basically meet musicians that didn't have a band already.
Right.
So because I
Oh,
would
that's a good point.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I'd also go talk, and that's how I got Chillula started, was from
Okay.
open mic. It was right when I moved back from Nashville. So there was a let's see, I was jamming with there's a guitarist that was I think hosting. So it was, and then I would go jam with him, and there was another drummer and bass player that happened to be there. So I guess like we all had fun for like a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like and I don't mean like every day, like a few weeks. I mean like it was like once a week for like maybe 3 weeks. And then like I swear I think it was like 4 or 5 times, and then the guitarist he's like, hey, I booked a gig for us. I'm like, what? I'm like, dude,
After four
yeah, I'm
times
like, what do you mean you booked a gig? Like he's like, yeah, I booked a gig in Jack's Beach. We're playing for like 4 hours. We're getting paid. I'm like, well, I mean, I guess that sounds fun, It's not like I haven't played out
he just
before.
went for it
Yeah, I'm like,
then.
dude, we don't have songs. He's like, don't worry about it, man. It's like you know some songs, and I know some songs. We'll just
Wing
go,
it.
yeah, we'll just take turns or whatever. We'll just all play something, and whoever doesn't know what to do, we'll just trade off or whatever. We'll make it work. So we did. Somehow we filled up that whole time. Um,
4 hours.
yeah, I think it was.
That's impressive.
I mean, yeah, because back in the day, almost all the gigs were 4 hour gigs.
Yeah.
Now they moved to three. Thankfully, keep it that way, please. If any venue is listening to this, please, like you're the last hour of a 4 hour set is not going to be good for any musician or for any crowd. Just don't do it, please.
For all
Y-
your
y-
music tips, come
Yeah,
watch this video.
seriously. Yeah, like 3 hours max. That's like what most
It's like how
musicians are
people
like.
feel at the office on a Friday, where I'm here, but
Yeah, like you want to give a good performance, and
it's a long time to play.
yeah. So 3 hours is totally
Good.
cool,
Okay, three
totally cool.
hours. Got it.
Yeah.
So if you're booking
So
anything,
say yeah.
because you guys also, you don't just play out at like bars and stuff. You do weddings, you
Mhm.
do like any special occasion.
Yeah, we got I don't know, because we started as just a band. I just wanted to play out, and then yeah, people just kept asking us to play all these weddings and events. So I was like, all right, yeah. So like I'll jump on it. Like I don't like focus on it, but I mean I do advertise. I have our band on a lot of a few different wedding websites. So yeah, I
Okay.
do enjoy doing those a lot. I mean, I think festivals is my favorite. 'Cause we get to play in front of thousands of people.
Something
Like the
about
like
that
like the
energy.
Blue Crab Fest that's coming up.
Right.
We're on the 25th, that Saturday
Mm-hmm.
of May. So
right around
Yes,
the
yes,
corner.
yeah, stuff like that is like I enjoy that the most, being able to play for just thousands of people. And then also like saying about the 3 hour gig, like we usually play like an hour set, like 30 minutes to an hour is most of the time what most
Hmm.
fans get on festivals. So
You
um
can give full
yeah,
energy
yeah,
to that.
we give everything for that. And so like everything is like as good as it can be. Like we're not having to hold back on certain parts.
That's great insight. I mean, it makes sense thinking about it. Like, okay, you got to stretch it out for 3 hours. I mean, anything for 3 hours is definitely a job, not in it as passionate
Yeah.
as you could be
Right.
about it. I mean, you're up there, you're like literally, you can't sit down and take a fiver,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, like
maybe
I'm not going to be like jumping up and down on every song
exactly.
for a 3 hour gig. Yeah.
Right.
But
But
I
in,
will. I can do that for our normal, for our regular like festival sets and stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, we definitely put out a lot of energy for a band, and that's like kind of the style that Chillula is. It's definitely like a lot of energy, and a lot of mixing styles of music too.
Yeah, I was listening to your stuff. You've got some jazz and R&B
Hmm.
elements in
Yeah,
it, and you could tell that and I would love to have all of you guys in here and kind of get a perspective from everybody. But um,
that might help like understand why the music is the way it is.
yeah, it would be very appreciative to, sit down and talk more about this. But to have that kind of eclectic mix and then be able to cover songs as well. So when you play
Yeah.
the festival, are you going to be doing original covers, a little of both?
I think we're gonna throw in some originals and some covers for that one.
Nice.
I don't have a set list yet because right now I'm working on the '90s festival that we're
This
playing.
weekend.
Yeah, this Saturday. So that's the set list I'm really focused on right now. I mean, because I know we already have the songs. I basically just have to put them in order,
No, okay,
like
yeah.
how I want to. So yeah,
I don't know what I'm
yeah,
doing, so you're the
yeah,
expert
like
here. You
it
can say
does.
whatever, and I trust you.
Yeah, like it doesn't require like a ton of thought to
Right.
put it all together. I just have to sit down for a few minutes and with the band. So yeah, that's all. I'm just waiting to get together. Like we're gonna get together this Friday before one of our gigs to rehearse, and that's when we'll decide what songs we want to play.
Right.
Because I want to have all their input also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How many shows, and let's not just talking festivals, yeah, you can include wedding, but how many
Yeah.
times do you think you've played out?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, just we play almost 5 times a week. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So it's
It's
a
full
lot.
time.
Yeah, like I have 7 gigs this week, but like today I'm playing a duo, and then yeah, like I have another solo gig. So um,
So you play sometimes by yourself, sometimes with one of your bandmates,
yeah,
sometimes just as a whole band.
most of the time it's the band though. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the band is probably um, yeah, I'd say yeah, like around like 4 times a week probably, but
Nice.
that's every week
Yeah.
forever.
For I like that.
Yeah.
In case you were wondering if you're getting out of this gig, this is forever.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna play till my fingers don't work, really.
What do
So,
you do when you're not playing music?
oh, a lot of fun stuff. Yeah, I was gonna ride my motorcycle here. Like that's one of the
Yeah.
things I like to
Yeah.
do. I ride my motorcycle around, and it's just nice and calming.
Florida weather though. As a Florida
Right, yeah,
local, you know.
yeah. I was gonna ride my motorcycle here, and then it rained like as soon as I was on my bike.
Yeah.
So
I'm just glad you made it.
yeah,
You had some hiccups with the motorcycle this
I
morning and
know.
then it rained. You got that all worked
Yeah,
out, so
yeah. That and yeah, surfing and just been trying to stay in shape too, so I can keep all that energy on stage.
right?
And golfing actually, I golf like quite a bit now,
Okay.
so that's something I started picking up as I got older. I'm like, man, this is actually a lot of fun.
I started gardening
Yeah,
this year and I was like, okay, well, this is
I mean,
where we're at.
plants are
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, heck
I
yeah.
mean, it's like raising like like a pet, pretty
Yeah.
much. I mean, they don't make noise, but
Much
they
easier for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. There's just like a slowed down version of a pet, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
You know.
And I don't know if do you have kids?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so
Got a
I'm surprised
10-year-old
my
daughter.
kids have
Yeah.
made it based on my plants
Made it.
originally. Yes,
Yeah.
because I
Like,
had a black thumb. It
gee.
was not good. So, good job keeping them alive. So,
Yeah. That is true. In a way, I feel like kids could almost be easier than taking care of plants because yeah. Like if I don't even know. Like yeah, you see a plant like it's all fine one day, and then all of a sudden it starts turning brown. Like I don't know what to do. And then yeah, like at least you can take your kids to a doctor or just feed them or something. But
Exactly. They
but
could tell you or cry. My plane's
yeah,
just staring at me like, come on,
yeah,
man.
yeah. It's like no, I'm dead. That's it. That's all the time I got. You failed.
I had one that's like, I've really been like trying to hone this craft, and I got vines and stuff. I learned how to
Nice.
propagate in water, and then I had one that was like tucked back, and one of my kids was like, "You killed that,"
Ah,
and
that's
I did kill that.
you'd be
So
like, yeah, you
I
should
was
be like,
like, "You're lucky
yeah,
you're alive, man."
exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Messed
Yeah,
up one time.
yeah. You keep talking like that, watch that plant.
Exactly. So what's the biggest festival you've played?
Oh, huh. Actually, it probably is the '90s fest, and well, I'm not sure what the capacity on Blue Crab is yet. Did you hear any numbers yet?
Historically, we've had up to 150,000 people over the course of the weekend.
Really?
Hmm.
Huh. Then maybe that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Cool. I dig it.
that might be it.
What are you expecting for
Yeah,
90s Fest?
I'm not sure. I haven't checked
More
the.
than 1,000, I can assure you that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So
Yeah, I'm not sure.
you're checking
I'm
that
not sure
box.
capacity on Francis Field, but yeah, there's a
You
lot
got to
of
get back and
people.
let me know because I'll be down there at the Blue Crab,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to get some, live footage of everything going on, see how the people feel about the music, and
Mm,
got a lot of big bands coming in. But I really love the
yeah.
local aspect where it's somebody that yeah, this is our first time interacting. I've seen you play in many venues at different times, and you guys are amazing. And the fact that
Thanks.
we can pull from our local talent and you
Should.
guys
I
come
mean, I
over.
think that's what brings out probably half the people at least,
Mm-hmm.
is because yeah, they get to see some of their favorite local bands on a big stage, really like
Mm-hmm.
really performing, really well, not just they get to see them, it's just a different point of view for both people.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
These are people you see, at every bar. Some of your back to the groupies. People follow you. A following.
yeah.
I think that's a better way to say it. You got your
Yeah.
followers who
Yeah,
come
that's what they
around.
call them now. Yeah.
Followers.
I think they used to be called groupies. I
Yeah,
think now they
I
call
like
them
groupies.
followers.
Yeah, it's, it's
Whatever.
like the Twitter and X conversation we were having. I'd explain that Twitter is no longer Twitter; it's X.
Oh, I see why it's called X now.
Had a full education in that before
Yeah.
we got started. So,
Twitter's a whole new thing now.
so you see yourself doing this forever. We can like always look up Cholula and be like, hey,
Oh, well, yeah. I
come on
mean, I don't know
over.
if it'll be Cholula forever.
Yeah, but you personally,
Oh, yeah.
this
I mean,
is what
oh,
you want
yeah.
to do.
Yeah, I love playing music. I mean, even on my days off, I go like I go out and play with other bands, like all my
Okay.
friends. Yeah, like just this past Saturday, I got done um, playing like the Food and Wine Festival at World Golf, and then I was done at 6 o'clock. So went downtown and watched all my friends play music, and then by the end of the night, ended up singing with them for a while.
Yeah,
So
I like it. I
so
like
yeah,
the.
like it's my hobby too.
It's like a family.
Yeah,
Music
yeah,
family.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, definitely. I probably see my musicians more than my actual family sometimes.
That's like the work family.
Because yeah, exactly. Like anyone's work. Yeah, you spend a lot of time. You know.
If you had to attribute all that you do to like a moment in life, obviously being at Nice was very instrumental, but is it something that your parents, they listen to a lot of music? Because I know
Yeah.
growing up, that's where I really got. Because I feel like you could hear music, and some people. This always blows my mind when people are like, "Oh, I don't really listen to music." Like, I
Yeah.
don't, I don't,
Yeah. I don't understand.
I don't know what that
Like
means.
what do you do? Like how do you not like you just sit in a I don't know like
Silence.
you're yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, or like going to a restaurant like that actually I thought that was so weird. I went to Italy and that was like the one thing I noticed like there's not music just playing it like like America there's music playing at every single store
ambiance.
any building you can walk in there's music playing.
Right.
So that's why I don't get like yeah people say like oh I don't listen to music like what do you mean it's everywhere music's
Mm.
everywhere. So
Was there like one moment for you
yeah.
where you were like, this is it?
Mm, nah, I think I've always known.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just born that way.
I think I was just born that way.
Yeah.
I think most musicians are. Like
I
you
would
just,
have to agree.
yeah, I think you just have to be, you just have to have, you have to be born with that drive. You know, that's, yeah,
You
it's
can't
just,
explain it unless
yeah,
you know
yeah,
it.
it's not like I can't help it. I can't turn it off and be like, I don't want to do music. Like
Yeah.
that's just not in me. Like that's what I was born to do.
Yeah. I,
You know,
I
so
think that's well said. And again, unless you know it, if you know, right?
yeah, like yeah, it's something I have to do.
So, well, I'm glad that you're doing it for the Blue Craft Festival.
Yeah,
We
it's
are
gonna be.
very excited.
Oh, I am too.
I'll be down there, camera in hand. Hopefully, I'll be able to catch you guys singing
Yeah.
or playing. Anything that we need to expect from you guys out there, like you just high energy is what you
Yeah.
said.
Yep.
Coming with the energy.
High energy, good music, good times. We are going to Chillula, bring the heat.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me
And
how the name came about.
oh yeah, I started in that. Oh yeah, remember I was talking about the band, like the open mic thing
Yeah,
back, and we
yeah.
had the gig. The guitarist booked. Yeah, so he's like, yeah, I booked us a gig, and also he's like, well, we need a name, and I was single at the time, eating burritos, Cholula sauce. So that was the first thing like in front of my face. I'm like, I don't know, Cholula, man. So that was it. Like it was just the
That's hot.
first word that
It's
was in front of
yeah.
my face.
Okay.
So we did have to change it though. Our drummer at the time was like, because we actually started off as like we were doing like jazz versions of hip hop songs. It was, yeah, it
Yeah.
was different from what we play now.
Yeah.
Like we like dressed up in like ties and stuff like that. So it was, yeah, it was a different band when we started. And then I don't know, we just kept rocking out more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And now we like,
Kind of evolved.
yeah, now we even started playing country music. So yeah,
I
that's
mean,
something I
again,
never thought. I mean, I did do country music when I was in Nashville for a little bit, but not with Cholula. But I don't know. I just realized like man, like we can sound good doing like any style of music. I've not heard a style of music that I'm like, nah, that's just we cannot do that.
so opera, we might hear a little bit of
Mm,
that.
no, I guess not
Got you
that.
on one.
It's gotta have like the instruments in it. I guess
Right. Okay.
it's
All
gotta
right.
have drums
I'm
and
tracking.
guitar and bass. Yeah, at least that. So any
Okay.
style that incorporates those instruments,
I
yeah,
feel
I
like
feel
that's
like
a
we can do it.
challenge that you just put out there, though. I feel like challenge Tallulah.
That'd be fine.
Be a
But
new
they, yeah, well,
hashtag.
I thought about doing that, just like maybe like once a week or something like that, like asking people like or we have to narrow it down somehow, like just randomly or something like that. Like people could put out songs that they'd want us to play, and we'd have to like learn like one a week or something like that.
That would be challenging in itself,
Yeah, it would.
and it would keep you fresh and exposed to different things.
It would be beneficial to
You
everyone.
let me know when that happens,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna come and
Do you have
you
a
know,
song in mind?
I'm gonna work on
Okay.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
that came off the top of my head. I should have had a song in mind, but I'm gonna come back with that
All
one.
right.
So
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of people request songs, and I'd say like half of them are like good requests, because sometimes people request songs like, did you even hear any of the music we just played? Like you're so far off from what we're playing, but a lot of times people do, about half the times people will give good requests. I'm like, oh, that's a good one. And sometimes I'll write them down on my phone. I do have a list of songs that I plan to learn soon. So
okay. All right, we'll be listening for new
yeah,
music from you guys.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, thank you for your time. I'm glad you were able to make it, and very excited to hear Cholula play at the Blue Craft Festival on Saturday. And if you haven't checked them out, you really should. And then if you're from Palatka, you'll be able to travel over to St. Augustine or follow them around Northeast Florida. It seems like you guys are kind of all over the place.
They're
But
everywhere.
until our next our next interview with everybody here, we hope to see you guys on the next episode.
Peace out. Rock out.